Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the English Podcast. My name is Adam, and I'm here with my amazing co-host, Julia. Today, we are diving into a very important topic, the most in-demand skills for 2025. These are the skills that will help you stay ahead in a changing world. Whether you're looking for a job, learning English, or just improving yourself, today's episode is packed with useful information to guide you.
Thank you, Adam. And hello to all our listeners. Learning new skills is more important now than ever. The world is moving fast. New technology, new ideas, and new challenges come up every day. To keep up, we need to grow and adapt. Skills like communication, problem solving, and learning how to use technology are essential. Don't worry though, we'll explain everything in simple beginner-friendly English so you can follow along and learn with us.
That's right, Julia. Think about how jobs have changed. A few years ago, people worked in offices and used paper. Now, many people work online using computers, smartphones, and even artificial intelligence. Companies want workers who can think critically, solve problems, and communicate well. Learning these skills isn't just for work, though. It also helps you build confidence and enjoy life more fully.
Exactly, Adam. And that's why today's episode is so exciting. We're going to talk about why learning skills is important, what the top skills for 2025 are, and how you can start learning them. We'll even share some tips and fun examples to help you. By the end of this podcast, you'll know more about the skills that will help you succeed, and you'll feel motivated to take the first step toward learning them.
Yes. And if you're learning English right now, that's already an amazing step. English is one of the most valuable skills you can have because it opens doors to opportunities around the world. So, whether you're improving your English, learning technology, or practicing communication, you're setting yourself up for success. Let's get started and explore the exciting skills you need for the future. Let's dive into our first segment. Why skills are so important in 2025. Julia, isn't it fascinating how quickly the world is changing? It feels like every day there's a new technology, a new way of doing things, or even a new challenge to adapt to. This constant change has completely transformed how people work and how businesses operate, and it's making skills more important than ever before.
That's absolutely true, Adam. If we look back even a decade ago, the world of work was much simpler and more predictable. Most jobs followed the same patterns for years, with people performing similar tasks daily, often relying on manual labor or repetitive processes that didn't require much adaptation. However, with the rise of technology, automation, and artificial intelligence, those traditional ways of working are no longer enough. Machines can now handle repetitive tasks faster and more efficiently than humans, which means that employees need to focus on skills that machines can't replicate, like creativity, problem solving, and emotional intelligence.
Exactly, Julia. Technology is not just changing jobs, it's changing entire industries. For instance, think about how shopping has changed. People used to visit physical stores for everything, but now, online shopping platforms like Amazon use algorithms and automation to personalize recommendations and deliver products faster than ever. The same is true for other fields, such as healthcare, education, and even transportation, where advancements like telemedicine, online learning, and self-driving cars are becoming the norm. These innovations are amazing, but they also mean that workers must keep learning new skills to stay relevant in this evolving landscape.
And it's not only about technology, Adam. Globalization is another major factor that's making skills more essential. In the past, businesses often operated within their own countries or regions, but today, the world is far more connected. Companies can now sell products and services across borders, collaborate with international teams, and reach global audiences thanks to the internet. This creates exciting opportunities, but it also means that employees need to develop new abilities, such as understanding different cultures, communicating effectively in multiple languages, and being flexible enough to work with people from diverse backgrounds.
That's such an important point, Julia. Globalization doesn't just change where businesses operate, it changes how they operate. For example, a small company in Japan might be working with designers in France, marketers in the United States, and software developers in India, all at the same time. This level of international collaboration requires a whole new set of skills, from being comfortable with technology to having strong teamwork and communication abilities. And let's not forget the role of English in all of this. English has become the global language for business, science, and technology, and being able to speak it fluently is a huge advantage for anyone looking to succeed in this interconnected world.
That's right, Adam. Learning English is one of the most valuable steps anyone can take to prepare for the future, especially when combined with other essential skills. For example, many companies today don't just look at someone's education or past experience, they also want to know if you're willing to keep learning and growing. This concept, called lifelong learning, is becoming more and more important. Employers are looking for people who are not afraid to learn new tools, adapt to new technologies, and stay updated with the latest trends in their industries.
And this brings us to a very simple but powerful idea. Learning new skills is not just about getting a job, it's about growing as a person. When you take the time to develop new abilities, whether it's mastering a new language like English or learning how to use a digital tool, you're not just adding value to your career, you're also building confidence, improving your problem-solving abilities, and preparing yourself to face challenges in every aspect of life. It's not always easy, but the rewards are definitely worth the effort.
I couldn't agree more, Adam. And to make it even clearer for our listeners, let's consider a simple example. Imagine someone working in an office where everything is now done online: emails, video meetings, and shared documents. If that person doesn't know how to use basic tools like Microsoft Teams or Google Docs, they might struggle to keep up. But by learning these tools, they not only perform better, but also feel more confident and ready to handle more advanced technologies in the future. It's a small step that makes a big difference.
Exactly, Julia. And this applies to all kinds of jobs, not just office work. Whether you're a teacher, a shopkeeper, or even someone running a small business, learning new skills can help you adapt to changes and stay competitive. For instance, a shopkeeper who learns how to sell products online can reach more customers, while a teacher who learns how to use digital tools can make lessons more interactive and engaging. These are just a few examples of how skills can open up new opportunities and help people thrive in an ever-changing world.
So, to sum up, the world of work in 2025 will be very different from what we know today. Technology, globalization, and the need for adaptability are shaping the future. And learning new skills is the key to staying ahead. And for our listeners, remember that every new skill you learn, no matter how small, is a step towards success. Whether it's improving your English, mastering a new tool, or developing better communication skills, the effort you put in today will pay off tomorrow.
Now that we've discussed why skills are so important for 2025, let's move on to the top 5 skills that will help you succeed in the future. Julia, let's start with the first skill, which is something we use every single day now: digital literacy and technology skills.
Yes, Adam, digital literacy is becoming the foundation of nearly every profession today. Simply put, digital literacy means knowing how to use technology in smart and effective ways. It's not just about understanding how computers work. It's about using technology to solve problems, communicate, and achieve goals. For example, many jobs now require basic skills like using email, managing tasks through apps like Trello, or even working with cloud storage platforms like Google Drive.
That's right, Julia. And technology is everywhere, whether you're working in an office, teaching in a school, or running your own business. Even simple things like booking a flight, shopping online, or attending a virtual meeting require digital skills. But it's not just about knowing the basics. The future of work will demand familiarity with more advanced tools, like artificial intelligence and data analysis. For instance, companies might use AI to improve customer service or analyze trends in their business. While this may sound complicated, even beginners can start by learning how to use simple AI tools, like chatbots or apps that automate small tasks.
Exactly, Adam. And for our listeners who might feel overwhelmed by technology, remember that it's okay to start small. You can begin by learning to use your smartphone more effectively. Try exploring apps like Duolingo to learn languages, or Grammarly to improve your writing skills. These tools are easy to use and can help you build confidence in working with technology. Over time, as you get comfortable, you can explore more advanced tools.
Moving on to our second skill, communication skills. Julia, we can both agree that good communication is one of the most valuable skills anyone can have, especially in a globalized world where people from different cultures and languages interact every day.
Absolutely, Adam. Communication isn't just about talking. It's about expressing your ideas clearly, understanding others, and building good relationships. And for many of our listeners, improving communication in English is a key goal. Imagine being able to write professional emails, speak confidently in meetings, or deliver an engaging presentation. These are the kinds of skills employers look for because clear communication helps teams work better together and avoid misunderstandings.
And here's a tip for beginners. Start with small, practical steps. For example, practice writing short emails in English. Focus on being polite, clear, and professional. You can use phrases like, "I hope this email finds you well," or "Thank you for your help." Over time, you'll feel more comfortable expressing yourself. Also, if you're preparing for a presentation, try practicing in front of a mirror or recording yourself. This helps you notice areas where you can improve, like pronunciation or body language.
Great advice, Adam. And let's not forget that listening is also a part of good communication. Take time to listen carefully to others, especially if English isn't your first language. This helps you understand their perspectives and respond appropriately. One easy way to improve is by watching English movies or listening to podcasts like this one. Pay attention to how people use phrases and tone to convey meaning. Now let's discuss the third skill, problem solving and critical thinking. This is all about using your creativity and logic to tackle challenges. Adam, why do you think this skill is so important for 2025?
Well, Julia, the world is becoming more complex, and companies need people who can think outside the box to solve problems. For example, imagine a business that suddenly faces a drop in sales. They need someone who can analyze the situation, identify the cause, and come up with solutions. Problem solving isn't just about fixing things. It's about finding opportunities in challenges.
That's a great point, Adam. And for beginners, problem solving doesn't have to be intimidating. Start with simple exercises in your daily life. For instance, if you're learning English, think about ways to make it easier. Maybe you can join a study group or use flashcards to remember new words. This kind of thinking trains your brain to approach challenges in a systematic way.
And critical thinking goes hand in hand with problem solving. It's about asking the right questions, analyzing information, and making good decisions. Let's say you're reading an article online. Instead of accepting everything as true, ask yourself, who wrote this? Is this information reliable? These habits will not only help you in your career, but also in everyday life. Now, Julia, let's talk about a skill that's often overlooked, but is incredibly important: emotional intelligence. This is about understanding and managing emotions, both your own and others. Why is this so critical in the workplace?
Adam, workplaces are made up of people, and people have emotions. If you can understand how others feel, you can build better relationships and work more effectively. For example, imagine a team where one person is upset about a mistake. Someone with emotional intelligence will recognize their feelings and find a way to support them instead of adding to their stress. This creates a positive work environment where everyone feels valued.
And for our listeners, building emotional intelligence doesn't require any special tools. Start by paying attention to your own emotions. When you feel angry or frustrated, take a moment to breathe and reflect on why you feel that way. Similarly, try to notice how others react in conversations. Are they happy, confused, or stressed? By observing these signals, you can respond in ways that make people feel understood.
And remember, emotional intelligence isn't just for work. It's a life skill that helps you navigate relationships, resolve conflicts, and stay calm under pressure. Practice empathy by imagining yourself in someone else's shoes. This simple habit can make a huge difference in how you interact with others.
Finally, Julia, let's talk about our fifth skill, adaptability and lifelong learning. This skill is about staying flexible and open to change, which is essential in a world where nothing stays the same for long.
That's right, Adam. Think about how many new technologies and ideas have emerged in just the past few years. If you're not willing to learn and adapt, you risk falling behind. For example, many companies now use video conferencing tools like Zoom for meetings. If you've never used these tools, you might struggle to participate. But if you're open to learning, you can quickly adapt and stay competitive.
And lifelong learning doesn't mean going back to school full-time. It's about making small, consistent efforts to improve yourself. Read articles, watch tutorials, or take short online courses. For example, platforms like Coursera or YouTube offer free resources to learn almost anything, from programming to public speaking.
Exactly. And don't forget to celebrate your progress. Each new skill you learn, no matter how small, is a step forward. Whether it's improving your English, learning a new software tool, or developing better time management habits, these efforts add up over time and prepare you for whatever challenges come your way.
Now that we've covered the top 5 skills for 2025, let's talk about something just as important: how to learn these skills. In today's world, learning doesn't have to be expensive or difficult. There are countless free online resources that you can use to get started on your journey. Julia, why don't we start with YouTube?
Absolutely, Adam. YouTube is one of the best places to start learning new skills. It's free, and there's a video on just about everything. For example, if you want to improve your communication skills, there are hundreds of videos on how to write better emails, deliver more effective presentations, and even how to improve your body language while speaking. The great thing about YouTube is that you can watch and re-watch videos until you fully understand a topic.
That's a great point, Julia. Another great way to learn is through podcasts, just like the one you're listening to right now. Podcasts are a fantastic tool for improving your listening skills and picking up new knowledge. You can listen to podcasts while you're commuting, cooking, or even working out, making it easy to incorporate learning into your daily routine. There are podcasts dedicated to almost every skill, be it digital literacy, communication, or emotional intelligence. Some even offer interviews with experts in various fields, giving you practical tips and insights that can help you grow.
Yes, podcasts are great because they often focus on real-life examples, which makes them even easier to understand. Plus, they're typically free, so you don't need to worry about spending money. For those of you looking to improve your emotional intelligence or problem-solving skills, podcasts can teach you strategies and real-world situations where these skills are used.
And let's not forget about apps. Apps are another fantastic tool for learning. If you're trying to improve your digital literacy, for example, apps like Google Drive or Microsoft Office can help you get comfortable with essential software tools. But there are also apps designed for more specific learning, such as Duolingo for language learning or TED for listening to inspiring talks. Many apps have built-in progress trackers, so you can see how much you've learned and keep yourself motivated.
One of my favorite apps is LinkedIn Learning. It's a platform where you can access courses on everything from business communication to leadership skills. They offer video lessons taught by experts, and while some content is paid, there are plenty of free options that cover the basics of many skills. Another great free app is Coursera, which offers free courses from top universities worldwide. Even if you can't commit to a full degree, taking a free course can be a great way to explore a topic you're interested in and build foundational knowledge.
Exactly, Julia. And here's a tip for our listeners. When you're using these resources, it's helpful to create a learning plan. A learning plan helps you stay organized and focused, so you're not just jumping from one topic to another without direction. For example, you can break down your learning goals into smaller tasks. If you want to improve your digital literacy, You might start by learning how to use Google Docs, then move on to learning how to create presentations in Google Slides, and then explore advanced tools like data analysis or graphic design. And don't forget about the power of practice. The more you practice, the better you'll get at any skill. For example, if you're working on communication skills, practice writing emails every day. Or if you want to improve your problem-solving skills, you can challenge yourself by finding solutions to small problems in your daily life. Remember, learning is a process, not a race.
Great advice, Adam. Now let's talk about one more thing that will help you learn these skills: learning English. It may sound simple, but improving your English skills can have a huge impact on your ability to learn other skills. Think about it. Most online resources, courses, and tutorials are in English. If your English is strong, you'll have access to a wealth of knowledge that can help you grow professionally.
Exactly. English is often considered the global language of business, technology, and education. By improving your English, you're also improving your ability to communicate with people from all over the world. Let's say you're learning a new digital tool or taking an online course. Many of these resources will require you to understand instructions and videos in English. If you already know the language, you'll be able to learn these new tools more easily.
And there's more. Learning English also helps you develop problem-solving and critical thinking skills. Why? Because English encourages you to think in a logical and structured way, especially when it comes to writing or speaking clearly. The process of learning English, especially grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure, improves your ability to organize your thoughts and express them in an effective way.
Yes. And let's not forget that English is a great tool for emotional intelligence as well. By understanding how people express themselves in English, you can better understand their emotions and reactions. This is especially important if you're working with people from different backgrounds, where cultural differences might affect how emotions are communicated. By improving your English, you're also improving your ability to understand and relate to others.
So, in a nutshell, learning English is not just about mastering the language. It's about unlocking a whole world of opportunities. Whether it's accessing free online resources, improving your communication skills, or developing emotional intelligence, English is a key tool that helps you navigate the learning process for any skill you want to acquire.
To wrap it up, we've talked about how to learn skills through free online resources like YouTube, podcasts, apps, and courses. We've also discussed the importance of creating a learning plan and being consistent in your efforts. Remember, learning is a lifelong journey, and there's no right speed. Just keep moving forward at your own pace. And by improving your English along the way, you'll open up even more doors for personal and professional growth.
That's right, Adam. So, whether you're a beginner or someone who wants to improve their existing skills, the resources are out there, and the opportunities are endless. It's all about making the most of what's available and staying committed to your learning goals.
Now that we've discussed the importance of skills and how to learn them, let's take a moment to look at some real-life examples. Sometimes, hearing stories of people who've succeeded after learning new skills can really inspire us. These are people just like you, who started from scratch and gradually built up their knowledge and abilities, eventually achieving great things. Julia, I know you have some amazing stories to share with us.
Absolutely, Adam. One of the most inspiring stories I've heard recently is about a woman named Maria who lived in a small town in Mexico. She didn't speak much English, and she didn't have much access to expensive education. But she had a dream of becoming a software developer. So she started by using free resources, YouTube tutorials, online courses, and even podcasts to learn English and digital literacy. Over time, she improved her English enough to start learning coding languages like Python and JavaScript. She was dedicated, and after a year of consistent learning, she was able to land a job at a tech company in the United States, all thanks to her determination and the new skills she gained.
That's a fantastic story, Julia. It really shows how much access to the right resources, combined with a willingness to learn, can change someone's life. Maria wasn't born with those tech skills, but she developed them over time with focus and effort. And the key part is that learning English played a huge role in that journey. By improving her English, she was able to understand the coding tutorials, communicate with people in the tech community, and apply for jobs that she never would have been able to before.
Exactly, Adam. And speaking of learning English, I know another story that's just as inspiring. It's about a man named Ahmed, who came from a small village in Egypt. Like many people, he wanted to improve his career prospects but didn't have the resources to attend traditional classes. Ahmed decided to take matters into his own hands. He used free apps like Duolingo and English podcasts to practice English every day. He also used YouTube to learn more about digital marketing. Over time, his English improved significantly, and so did his understanding of online marketing. Eventually, Ahmed started his own online business, selling digital products, and was able to work with international clients. Today, he's not just a successful entrepreneur, he's also helping others in his village learn English and digital skills, just like he did.
What an incredible journey, Julia. Ahmed's story really highlights the power of persistence and self-learning. His English skills were key to his success, not just for understanding marketing strategies, but also for being able to network and build relationships with clients from all around the world. It's one thing to understand the technical side of things, but without good communication skills, especially in English, it's difficult to build a global business. Ahmed's ability to learn English opened doors for him that he wouldn't have had otherwise.
And what I love most about Ahmed's story is that he didn't stop with just learning the skills for himself. He understood the value of sharing knowledge and helping others. That's another powerful aspect of learning new skills. Not only does it transform your own life, but it also gives you the ability to positively impact those around you. It's a cycle of growth and support.
Absolutely, Julia. And to further illustrate how important skills and English can be in shaping careers, let me share a story about David, a young man from the Philippines. David had always been passionate about technology, but like many young people in developing countries, he didn't have access to formal education. Instead, he turned to the internet and started watching free tutorials on YouTube and reading blogs to learn about IT systems and programming. Over time, he also worked on his English skills because he realized that most of the technical resources online were in English. After a year of dedicated learning, David managed to get an internship at a multinational IT company, and now, just a few years later, he's working as a senior developer at that same company.
I love this example, Adam, because it shows that David's success didn't just come from his technical skills. His ability to understand and speak English helped him immensely. Imagine if he had only focused on programming and neglected to learn English. He might have found himself stuck at a certain point, unable to access more advanced resources or communicate with colleagues from other countries. His success is a great reminder that learning English is not just about improving your ability to speak. It's about opening up a world of opportunities for growth, networking, and collaboration.
That's right, Julia. English isn't just useful in business. It's essential in almost every field nowadays. Whether it's reading research papers, following the latest trends in technology, or collaborating with global teams, English is often the bridge that connects people and ideas. David's story shows that it's never too late to start learning, and the skills you acquire can lead to incredible opportunities, no matter where you come from.
And let's not forget about Sarah's story. She's a nurse from Brazil, and for years she dreamed of working in the United States. But there was one big challenge. Her English skills weren't strong enough to communicate effectively with patients and colleagues. Instead of feeling discouraged, Sarah decided to take action. She enrolled in an online English course, focusing on medical terminology and communication skills for healthcare professionals. After several months of hard work, Sarah passed the necessary exams, and today she's working at a hospital in New York. Her improved English skills not only helped her professionally, but also allowed her to feel more confident in her daily life as she interacts with people from all over the world.
That's such an inspiring story, Julia. It shows that no matter what your field is, learning English can be the key to taking your career to the next level. Sarah's story is also a reminder that skills don't have to be limited to technical fields. Whether it's medicine, marketing, or technology, language skills are essential for success. English opens doors not just to new jobs, but to new experiences and greater personal confidence.
And the best part is that all of these people started with small steps. They didn't have to invest thousands of dollars in education or move to a new country. They took advantage of free resources and committed themselves to learning. It's about making the most of what's available to you and having the determination to keep going, even when things get tough. And of course, learning English was a central part of their success. It helped them understand global knowledge, communicate with others, and build relationships with people from all over the world.
Exactly, Julia. These stories remind us that the power of learning new skills, especially English, can change the course of someone's life. Whether you're starting from scratch or trying to level up in your career, the opportunities are endless. All it takes is dedication, persistence, and the right resources. We hope these success stories inspire you to take the first step toward your own success. So far, we've discussed the top skills needed for 2025 and shared some inspiring stories of people who achieved success by learning new skills. But we all know that learning new things isn't always easy. There are always challenges along the way, and it's important to recognize that facing difficulties is a normal part of the learning process. Julia, can you talk a bit about some of the common challenges people face when trying to learn new skills and how they can overcome them?
Absolutely, Adam. One of the biggest challenges people face is time. Life can get very busy, whether it's work, family, or other commitments. Finding the time to learn something new can feel like an impossible task. But the key here is making learning a priority and fitting it into your daily routine, even in small doses. For example, instead of trying to dedicate a full hour every day, you can start by setting aside just 15 minutes each day. You can use those 15 minutes to listen to a podcast, practice English, or watch a tutorial. Over time, these small efforts add up, and you'll find that you've made real progress.
That's a great point, Julia. It's important not to get discouraged by the idea that learning has to be a huge commitment all at once. A little bit of progress every day can make a big difference. Another challenge I think many people face is motivation. It's easy to start learning something new with excitement, but over time, that motivation can fade. People might start off strong, but then they lose interest or feel like they're not improving fast enough. How can someone keep their motivation high during these tough times?
It's true, Adam. Maintaining motivation can be one of the toughest parts of learning new skills. One way to keep your motivation high is to set small, achievable goals. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be fluent in English by the end of the year," break that goal down into smaller steps like, "I will learn 10 new vocabulary words each week," or "I will complete one online English lesson each day." These smaller, bite-sized goals are more manageable, and when you achieve them, it gives you a sense of accomplishment that will keep you motivated to continue.
I love that idea, Julia. Setting small goals helps you stay focused and creates a sense of progress, which can be incredibly motivating. Another common challenge is self-doubt. Many people feel like they're not good enough or that they'll never be able to learn something new, especially when it comes to skills like English or technology. But it's important to remember that everyone starts somewhere. Even the most successful people were once beginners. How can someone overcome self-doubt when learning new skills?
Self-doubt is something everyone experiences, and it can be a real barrier to learning. But the best way to overcome it is by embracing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can improve with effort and practice. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good at this," try thinking, "I can get better if I keep practicing." Every mistake or failure is just a step toward improvement. It's important to remember that learning is a journey, not a destination. The more you practice, the better you will become, and self-doubt will start to fade.
That's such an important mindset to have, Julia. And on top of that, finding a support system can make a huge difference. Learning alone can sometimes feel isolating, so connecting with others who are on a similar learning journey can help you stay motivated and feel supported. Whether it's joining a study group, participating in an online community, or even having a friend who's learning with you, having people to share the process with can make it much more enjoyable and rewarding.
Absolutely, Adam. Having a support system is key. There are many online communities, forums, and even social media groups where people share their experiences and progress while learning new skills. These groups are great for offering advice, encouragement, and sharing resources. Sometimes just knowing that someone else is facing the same challenges as you can help you feel more confident and less alone in the process. Plus, learning with others can make it more fun and motivating.
Exactly. And one final challenge that many people face is the fear of failure. People often worry about making mistakes or not doing things perfectly, but that's a natural part of learning. In fact, some of the best lessons come from making mistakes. It's important to see mistakes as opportunities to grow rather than setbacks. Every time you make a mistake, you're one step closer to mastering that skill.
That's a great point, Adam. It's also important to celebrate your progress along the way. Even if you haven't mastered a skill yet, take time to recognize how far you've come. Whether it's successfully completing a project, learning a new concept, or simply sticking to your learning plan, these are all achievements that deserve to be celebrated. Celebrating small wins can help build confidence and make the learning process feel more rewarding.
Absolutely. Overcoming challenges is all part of the process of learning new skills, and it's important to remember that it's okay to face difficulties along the way. The key is to stay persistent, be kind to yourself, and focus on progress rather than perfection. If you keep going, no matter how small the steps may seem, you'll eventually reach your goals.
And as we've seen through the success stories we've shared today, even the biggest challenges can be overcome with determination and the right mindset. Whether it's managing time, staying motivated, overcoming self-doubt, or handling the fear of failure, each challenge is just another part of the journey toward mastering new skills. Keep pushing forward, and remember that every step you take brings you closer to your goal.
As we've explored the top skills needed for 2025, it's clear that one factor connects them all: English. English isn't just another subject to learn. It's a powerful tool that opens doors to opportunities, resources, and global communication. Whether you're using a new app, solving a complex problem, or working on emotional intelligence, English serves as the foundation for mastering these skills. Julia, would you agree that English acts as a bridge between these abilities and the world?
Absolutely, Adam. English plays an essential role in skill building because it is not only the global language of communication, but also the language of progress in technology, business, and education. Imagine trying to use a popular app or software, only to find that the instructions, features, and even customer support are all in English. Without a basic understanding of English, even simple tasks can feel like climbing a mountain. The same goes for finding resources to improve your abilities. Many of the best tutorials, guides, and learning tools available online are in English.
Let's take a closer look at how English connects to the specific skills we've discussed. First, let's talk about digital literacy and technology skills. Technology is advancing faster than ever, and the majority of these innovations come with English as their primary language. Whether you're setting up a new smartphone, navigating a productivity app, or even exploring artificial intelligence tools, a good understanding of English makes the process smoother and faster. Think about coding, too. Most programming languages are built on English words and concepts. Without English, learning these technical skills can feel almost impossible.
You're absolutely right, Adam. Now let's move to communication skills, which is another critical area. English is considered the international language for business, science, and even entertainment. If you can communicate clearly in English, you can connect with people from different cultures and backgrounds. Writing professional emails, participating in global meetings, and delivering impactful presentations all require strong English skills. Being able to communicate effectively in English not only helps you express your ideas, but also ensures that your message is understood by a wider audience.
And then there's problem solving and critical thinking, which are essential for tackling challenges in today's dynamic world. Many of the resources that teach these skills, such as online courses, research papers, and even case studies, are in English. Imagine trying to improve your problem-solving abilities, but being unable to access the best material because you don't understand the language it's written in. By learning English, you gain access to a global library of knowledge and ideas that can enhance your creative thinking.
That's such an important point, Adam. Moving on to emotional intelligence, it's fascinating how much language plays a role in understanding and managing emotions, especially in a multicultural environment. English allows you to connect with people from different parts of the world, helping you understand their perspectives, emotions, and non-verbal cues. When you're emotionally intelligent, you can build stronger relationships, both personally and professionally, and English serves as the common ground for making those connections possible.
Finally, we come to adaptability and lifelong learning, two skills that are increasingly important as the world keeps changing. Most of the latest information, be it in the form of books, podcasts, or online courses, is available in English. If you're learning English, you're not just improving one skill, you're equipping yourself to continuously grow in other areas. Being adaptable means being open to change, and learning English allows you to embrace change on a global scale.
So, how can our listeners use English to master these skills? Start small but consistent. Begin by using English-based apps or watching tutorials on platforms like YouTube. These tools often combine skill building with language learning. For example, you can watch a tutorial on how to use Excel, which will teach you the software while also improving your English.
Another great tip is to practice English in communities where people are working on the same skills. Join online forums or social media groups that focus on technology, communication, or emotional intelligence. Participating in discussions helps you practice English while also learning valuable insights from others.
And don't forget about micro-learning, using short videos, articles, or podcasts to pick up new skills. Many of these resources are designed for beginners, making them perfect for learning both the skill and the language. By integrating English into your daily skill-building activities, you're not only preparing for 2025, but also unlocking your full potential.
Well said, Julia. English is truly a key to success, and it's amazing how it connects to every aspect of skill building. By focusing on improving their English, our listeners can take a big step toward mastering the skills that matter most for the future. Let's encourage them to start today. Now, Julia, we've talked about the most important skills for 2025, how to learn them, and the challenges people might face along the way. But let's make things a little more interactive and fun for our listeners. We've received a lot of questions from our audience, and it's time to answer some of those common questions. These are beginner-level questions, so they're perfect for anyone just starting their learning journey. Let's dive into the first question.
Absolutely, Adam. I'm really excited to get into these questions because I know they will be helpful for our listeners. Here's the first one. How can I improve my English without taking formal classes? That's a great question. Many people think they need to take formal lessons or enroll in a language school, but there are so many ways to improve your English on your own. What do you think, Adam?
Great question indeed. There are so many ways to improve your English, and the best part is, most of them are free or inexpensive. First, you can use online resources like YouTube to watch videos in English. You can choose topics you enjoy, like cooking, travel, or even watching interviews with experts. This way, you're learning English in a fun, engaging way. You can also listen to podcasts, just like this one. Podcasts are perfect for learning English because you get to hear natural conversations and you can repeat what you hear to practice your pronunciation. And don't forget about apps. There are plenty of free apps available to help you practice grammar, vocabulary, and speaking skills.
That's right, Adam. Another great way to improve is by reading books, articles, or even social media posts in English. Start with something simple, like children's books or articles that match your level. Over time, as you read more, you'll get better at understanding new words and sentences. And don't be afraid to make mistakes, just keep practicing. The more you read and listen, the better you'll get. And speaking of mistakes, let's move on to our next question. This one is very common. I'm afraid to speak in English because I might make mistakes. What should I do?
Ah, yes. The fear of making mistakes. I totally understand this. Many people feel nervous or embarrassed when speaking in a new language. But here's the truth. Making mistakes is an essential part of learning. Every time you make a mistake, you're actually getting closer to mastering the language. It's how you learn. The best way to overcome this fear is by practicing in a safe and friendly environment. You could start by speaking with a language partner or even practicing in front of a mirror. It's important to be kind to yourself and focus on progress, not perfection. And remember, even native English speakers make mistakes sometimes. So don't worry.
Exactly. The more you practice speaking, the more confident you'll become. You can also join online language exchange groups where you can practice speaking with others who are learning English, just like you. And remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. It's to communicate clearly and get your message across. Now, let's move on to our third question. This one is, how can I improve my vocabulary quickly? I'm sure this is something many of our listeners want to know.
That's a fantastic question. Improving your vocabulary doesn't have to be boring or difficult. One effective method is to learn words in context. Instead of memorizing a list of random words, try to learn words within sentences or real-life situations. For example, if you're reading an article, underline new words and try to figure out their meanings by looking at the sentence. You can also use flashcards to review vocabulary, but make sure you write sentences with those words so you remember how to use them properly. And don't forget to review regularly. It helps you retain what you've learned. A great tip is to set a goal to learn a certain number of new words each week and use them in your conversations.
I love that idea, Adam. Learning vocabulary through context really makes it stick. And another fun way to improve your vocabulary is by watching shows, movies, or even playing video games in English. When you hear a word you don't know, pause the video, look it up, and repeat it out loud. Over time, you'll start picking up new words naturally. Also, try to use your new words in daily conversations. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel. Okay, now let's answer another question from our listeners. This one is, how can I learn English faster?
Oh, everyone wants to learn faster, right? We all wish there was a magic trick to speed up the process. But the truth is, learning a new language takes time and consistent effort. To learn faster, it's important to immerse yourself in English as much as possible. That means surrounding yourself with English every day. Listen to English music, watch English videos, and practice speaking as much as you can. You can also try using apps that let you practice speaking with native speakers or find a language partner who speaks English fluently. The more you expose yourself to English, the faster you'll pick it up. And remember, consistency is key.
Absolutely, Adam. Immersing yourself in the language is one of the best ways to speed up your learning. But it's also important to be patient with yourself. If you practice a little every day, you'll notice improvements over time. And sometimes the process of learning is just as important as the result. Now, Adam, how about we have a bit of fun? We could play a little game. I have an idea. Let's do a quick Guess the Skill game. I'll give you some clues, and you try to guess the skill. Are you ready?
Oh, I love games, Julia. Let's do it. I'm ready. Hit me with your first clue.
All right, here's the first clue. This skill is about using technology effectively. It involves using software, apps, and online tools to communicate and work efficiently. It's crucial for the modern workplace, and it's also important for staying connected with others around the world. What skill am I talking about?
That sounds like digital literacy and technology skills.
Correct. Well done, Adam. Now, here's the next one. This skill is all about understanding and managing your own emotions and understanding others' emotions as well. It helps you communicate better with people and work effectively in teams. What skill am I talking about?
That's got to be emotional intelligence.
You got it. Now, for the final one. This skill is all about thinking critically, analyzing problems, and finding creative solutions. It's important in every aspect of life, from school to work to personal challenges. What skill am I describing?
I'm going to say problem solving and critical thinking.
Bingo. You nailed all three, Adam. Great job. I hope everyone listening had fun with that little game. It's a great way to remember important skills in a fun and interactive way.
That was awesome. Thanks for that, Julia. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and it made learning about these skills a little more fun. Now, before we wrap up today's podcast, let's remind our listeners about the key points we've discussed.
Of course. We've talked about why skills are so important for 2025, the top 5 skills you need to focus on, how to learn them, and how to overcome challenges. We've also answered some great questions from our listeners and had a fun little game to help you remember the skills we've discussed.
Exactly. Remember, learning new skills is a journey, and while it might feel challenging at times, the rewards are worth it. So keep practicing, stay motivated, and always keep learning.
And don't forget that learning English is a big part of your skill-building journey. The more you practice your English, the better you'll become at all the skills we've talked about today. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to sharing more helpful tips with you in future episodes.
Well, Julia, as we come to the end of today's episode, it's time to recap everything we've talked about. We've covered a lot of important skills that will be crucial for success in 2025 and beyond, and I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to take action. Let's go over the top 5 skills we discussed. First, digital literacy and technology skills. As the world continues to embrace technology, it's essential to know how to use apps, online tools, and AI effectively. Whether you're at work or in your personal life, being digitally literate will help you stay connected and keep up with the fast-changing world around you.
Exactly, Adam. And the second skill we highlighted was communication skills. In today's world, being able to communicate clearly, both in writing and speaking, is crucial. Whether you're writing emails, giving presentations, or participating in meetings, the ability to communicate effectively in English will help you get your ideas across and make meaningful connections with others.
Then we talked about problem solving and critical thinking, skills that help you navigate the challenges you face every day. Whether it's at work, school, or even in your personal life, being able to think creatively and come up with solutions is a skill that will serve you for years to come. Critical thinking is essential for making informed decisions and tackling problems head-on.
Absolutely. And don't forget about emotional intelligence. In today's workplaces and relationships, being able to manage your emotions and understand others is key to success. Emotional intelligence helps you build better relationships, improve teamwork, and handle stress more effectively. It's about knowing how to react to situations in a positive way and understanding the emotions of those around you.
And last but certainly not least, adaptability and lifelong learning. The ability to stay flexible and keep learning is more important than ever. With technology changing so quickly, being able to adapt to new situations, tools, and ways of thinking will keep you ahead of the curve. Lifelong learning isn't just about getting a degree. It's about constantly growing and staying curious about the world.
Those are the top 5 skills we've covered today, and I want to encourage all of our listeners to take what we've shared and start learning these skills today. There's no time like the present. Whether you're just beginning your learning journey or you're looking to improve your current skills, the important thing is to start.
That's right, Julia. Learning these skills doesn't happen overnight, but every small step you take brings you closer to success. Remember, It's all about consistency and effort. Set small goals for yourself, and before you know it, you'll see huge progress. And the best part? You'll feel more confident and prepared for whatever challenges come your way.
And one last thing, don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way. Learning is a process, and mistakes are just part of that journey. What matters is that you keep going, keep improving, and keep growing. As you work on developing these skills, you'll notice the positive impact it has on your career, your personal life, and your confidence in general.
Absolutely, Julia. Just keep pushing forward and remember that every little bit of progress counts. Whether it's practicing your English, learning a new app, or improving your problem-solving abilities, all of these things add up over time. Stay curious, stay dedicated, and most importantly, enjoy the process of learning.
So, as we wrap up this episode, we want to remind you that the future is yours to shape. The skills we've talked about today are the keys to success in 2025 and beyond. And with the right mindset and effort, you can achieve anything. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember that you are capable of so much more than you think.
We believe in you. And remember, the more you learn, the more you grow. So, start today and take one step at a time towards mastering these skills. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast, and we hope you feel inspired to take action and make 2025 your best year yet.
Thank you all for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the episode and learned something new. We'll see you next time with more tips, advice, and inspiration to help you on your English learning journey. Until then, keep learning, stay motivated, and remember, the future is in your hands.
Take care, everyone, and happy learning. See you soon.